For Sentinel.com, this is Ira Winderman with your latest Ask Ira Miami Heat mailbag. Our first question today comes from Gabrielle in Denver, who says, Ira, did the Heat really get faster if Chris Bosh is healthy? Or do you see them playing more of a half-court game with maybe a Twin Towers approach? Most teams don't have an answer for a power forward center combination anymore, especially not with a point guard with good passing skills. Gabrielle, to me, this is what has made it so frustrating, this unknown about Chris Bosh, because we have yet to see the Whiteside-Bosh dynamic truly work. And yet here they stand right now as the Heat's two highest paid players. I do believe that if Hassan and Chris get on the court together, you're more likely to see a half-court approach, maybe with Chris in the mid-post or high post and obviously Hassan closer to the basket. But for now, we wait to see what happens with Chris Bosh. I'm sure that Erik Spoelstra has a plan B in case Chris comes back to make it work finally with Hassan. But we won't know until we know. Our second question comes from Mac in Toronto, who says, I think James Johnson will break out and be an XFactor this year. If his three-point game goes up, like in Miami's Twitter videos, he could be a major asset for Erik Spoelstra's positionless style. Mac, I'd warn you on this. It's a lot easier to shoot three-pointers undefended, in rhythm, on the practice court. Remember, Erik Spoelstra at one point thought that Udonis Haslem could be an outside shooting power forward also, and Udonis has been very good with his three-point shooting on the practice court. It has to translate into game conditions. I agree. If James Johnson adds a three-point element, that's what the Heat are looking for, especially with his defense. But that's the kind of thing you don't know until the games actually start. We'll know when we know. And our last question today comes from Ryan, who says, since the Heat have no chance at a ring, with the Cavaliers and Warriors being the favorites, the Heat might as well tank this year with their own draft pick and a strong draft class, assuming that Bosh retires or is traded. Ryan, first of all, there are no knowns right now with Chris Bosh. I doubt he just goes out and retires. I doubt anyone takes him in a trade. But I also find it somewhat amusing that in August, someone is already willing to give up on November, December, January, February, March, and April. To me, this Heat roster is sort of like where the Dolphins have been in recent seasons, caught in the middle of the standings. I'm not sure with a roster that features Hassan Whiteside and Goran Dragic and Justice Winslow, even if there's no Chris Bosh, that you're going to be that far south of 500 to be tanking bad, which to me means being out of the playoff race by the February 23rd trading deadline. I think you have to go in there hoping for the best, like last season's Portland Trail Blazers, and then have Pat Riley and Erik Spoelstra play it out from there. Those are today's three questions. We'll be back tomorrow with three more. For SunSentinel.com, I'm Ira Winderman.